Hi, today I'm going to be discussing the subject of self-proclaimed NAWALTS and the increase in women claiming to be anti-feminists and why you should not immediately believe any woman who identifies as an anti-feminist to be the unicorn NAWALT of your dreams. A woman can be against feminism and identify as an anti-feminist and still have the typical negative female nature traits that we talk about in the red pill, such as being hypergamous and being a carousel rider. This is oftentimes the case with anti-feminist women. I have seen women who are hypergamous claim to be anti-feminists, and I've seen women who are carousel riders claim to be anti-feminists. A woman being against extreme feminism does not mean she does not have negative traits that are associated with female nature. It just means she has the common sense to see that feminism is stupid. That does not take much work to figure out, and viewing feminism as stupid should be considered bare minimum, not something that itself should immediately cause a woman to be labeled a NAWALT. A woman can disagree with some aspects of feminism, however, that does not mean she does not have negative female nature traits. There is likely at least some aspects of feminism that resonate with her due to feminism being what I refer to as the female delusion, and something that enables women to make poor decisions. I will go more into the subject of the female delusion in another video at some point probably, but to sum up what feminism is female nature out in the open without strong men making sure it remains under control. Feminism enables negative female nature traits and is an emotional response to what I refer to as the natural order of things. Feminism is what happens when women fall all the way down the rabbit hole of the delusional part of their minds without logical thinking preventing them from doing so. The reason why some women may be against feminism is because these women are still using some logical thinking and haven't fallen all the way down the abyss of the delusional part of their minds. This, however, does not make them a NAWALT. This only means that they haven't completely fallen down the abyss. When a woman falls all the way down this rabbit hole, it makes her extremely irrational and stupid sounding to everyone who speaks to her who isn't stupid. Their prevention of falling down this rabbit hole is logical thought and intelligence. A woman may be against some aspects of feminism, but there is likely at least one negative female nature trait that she has that has been enabled by feminism. It's just that she doesn't agree with all aspects of feminism. Most women are self-proclaimed NAWALTs. Maybe they do not actually describe themselves with the literal acronym NAWALT, however, something of the same meaning, just expressed differently. All women feel like they are somehow different than other women, when the majority of women's behaviors can be summarized with a few specific behavior patterns, and they tend to be very similar. Most women are not different from other women, however, their inflated egos and delusional thinking has made them feel like they are. I would highly suggest to not waste time bothering to search for a NAWALT. However, when labeling a woman as a NAWALT, I think there needs to be significantly more required than simply her being anti-feminist. She needs to actually lack negative female nature traits. In a way, I've actually doubted the existence of NAWALTs and have questioned if the NAWALT is just a fantasy created by a male's mind. What I mean by that is it's highly unlikely to meet a woman without some negative female nature quality, and even if one meets a woman without typical negative female nature qualities, she may have some other personality flaw, even if it's not specifically related to her female nature. I think the NAWALT is a male's fantasy of a woman who lacks the typical negative female nature traits and is an ideal in his mind. However, NAWALTs are essentially mythical beings, and to look for a NAWALT in the real world would be the equivalent of a man in his 50s still believing in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. Okay, perhaps not to that extreme, but it would be highly, highly unlikely. Men's mythical fantasy of getting into a relationship with a NAWALT girl is exploited by women who are willing to put on a facade to play the role of the female chameleon in order to take his resources and get commitment from him. They let men hold on to their fantasy as a way to manipulate men with it. Then the man finds out it was all a facade and the woman he loved was merely an illusion. He finds out everything he loved about her was just her deceiving him by pretending to be the woman of his dreams. But by that point, he has already wasted years of his life with her, finding out it was all a lie. Then rinse and repeat as he gets into another relationship, hoping that somehow the next girl really is different and isn't like that. He hopes that she doesn't have those typical negative female nature traits and somehow she really is different. I think in the back of his mind, if he's smart though, he will be somewhat afraid that she would turn out to be deceiving him like the woman he was with before her, but it's his love that blinds him. He doesn't want to view her as capable of negative female nature traits because he has rose-colored glasses on when he looks at her. Subconsciously, he is afraid based off what he has already experienced in the past, as he does not want to endure that pain again, but he tries to bargain with himself that somehow she really is different than the women who have used him, manipulated him, and lied to him. He doesn't want to view her as anything but a saint because he loves her. Women have no remorse about telling a man, "Not all women are like that. She's out there," because women generally aren't the ones searching for a partner and aren't doing the work of asking out the man. Since men typically do this work, women do not care. Women easily can find a partner while putting in absolutely no effort to actually look for one and express no empathy towards the fact that a man would be wasting significant amounts of his time and energy that he could be spending on his hobbies, only to waste it looking for a NAWALT. In the modern dating pool, that is a trash-filled sea of openly misandristic feminist broads who make it very clear that they despise men, and women who put on the facade of a female chameleon only to rip the mask off after a few years together, revealing her true colors to him. Looking for a NAWALT would be like playing the lottery repeatedly until you win. It's highly unlikely you will win, and is extremely unrealistic. I mean, winning the lottery is a wonderful pipe dream, as I believe most people would love to randomly become rich without having to actually do anything, but ultimately, it is not going to happen for like 99% of the population. The fanciful creation of the NAWALT seems like a coping mechanism or form of escapism to deal with the fact that most women will have negative female nature traits and often treat men poorly. Instead of just leaving this form of escapism alone as something for men to enjoy in their spare time, women choose to use it to their advantage and engage with this form of fantasy, viewing it as a weakness to be exploited. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please press the like button and subscribe if you enjoy this content and like hearing me analyze female nature. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, whatever time it is when you're watching this.